All right. Let's do a little update, some recent posts on my X account. So yeah, let's get right into it. First things first, kind of posted this yesterday. This is just someone who's been using my methods. Said I started using your logistics only method and it works way better. And we'll kind of go into specifics of what that looks like in a second. Said I'm noticing I'm getting a lot further and making plans more quickly with more girls instead of BSing with small talk. So here's some posts for today. So dating etiquette for men basically said, no one's ever created or credited rather a dating etiquette for men Pinterest board for getting laid. It's just a bunch of stuff like offer to pick her up or send her a card. Always open the car door, even if it's a casual date. It's a lot of that stuff's even common sense because it's not about it's like this post from the other day. It's not about being an asshole because being an asshole itself doesn't necessarily help. It's more about not being a spineless simp. So, you can basically get away with, I think this guy made a good comment here, or it might be, I don't know what's up with this. Sometimes they like hide good comments or something. This one guy basically said, you can get away with a lot of things as long as you have good frame and as long as you have a backbone essentially. And it's the concept of no one likes a genuinely douchey asshole guy. The point is most guys could stand to grow a backbone. Having a backbone as a man is usually interpreted by the matriarchy and people who have zero investment in your success and the S&P as being a douchebag. Everyone can agree with that part about no one likes an asshole, a genuine asshole. OP here completely ignores the main point. Bending over backwards for women is a race to the bottom and there will always be a bigger simp. That's the main idea. Being likable, whatever that means to the individual woman, is indeed important. And that's the point here is dating etiquette. You're putting so much on etiquette, but that's a race to the bottom because every guy, it's table stakes. Every guy can open the door. Every guy can do, walk on the outside of the sidewalk. If she's wearing heels, just like that's common sense. If you need this, you're cooked. Like if you need this, you're cooked. If you aren't this, if you need to be trained on that, you're cooked. No one's ever credited a dating etiquette for men Pinterest board for getting laid, but they have credited what we're going to talk about in a second with being more efficient and getting better results. And so this is kind of what we're going to talk about here. So this guy made a viral post here and said, got a match on Hinge. Texted for a couple of weeks. Check. Agreed to a date and time to meet. Check. Confirmed at noon. Let her know when I was going to be there. Check. She never showed up. Well, that's a risk you take when you entertain agenda mercenaries on public dates and in her frame and even just enter the arena. I mean, good for him on being in the arena and, making things happen or trying to. Because at the end of the day, that's all you can do. But we'd have to talk about this for a second. So he said texted for a couple weeks with the check. He's acting like this is a positive check mark, which it's not. It's only a positive check mark if your agenda is to be her pen pal. Early bird gets the worm is a saying for a reason. Got to strike while the iron is hot. She matched you for a reason. At that exact point, she's feeling the most pain to fix her position in the sexual marketplace for not having quality D in her life. Assume she matched with you. This is the key. Assume she matched with you because you're the highest value guy available to her. She's chosen. She's made her choice. And a lot of guys say that's not always true. She's a bunch of high quality guys. And what else are you going to assume? If that's not what you're assuming, you're trying to get laid or not. It benefits you nothing to be like, well, the competition and women have options and all. Okay. And she's got to smash somebody. She needs, she matched with you. And this is the key is she's feeling the most pain the second she matches with you. Even more so than if you matched with her. If she matches with you, if you liked her profile and she liked you back, she matched with you, especially if she even reaches out first, which I'm going to show you this example here about literally this exact point. Got to strike while the iron is hot. She matched with you for a reason. And this is the extreme version of it. I'm not going to read the whole, I guess it's not too long, but the too long, didn't read version is this chick from Bumble the other day thought I was a different guy with my same name. We both matched with her, but because I struck while the iron was hot, I was the one who got her number. So I was the one who made plans first and she came over, had a great time to the night, etc. She literally asked me when she got here She was on the couch over there with me, looked up at my hair and was like, "What happened to your blonde hair?" And I was like, what are you talking about? Never had blonde hair, ever. Never dyed my hair, nothing. She swore I did. Then she walked over to grab her phone, opened up Bumble, and showed me a picture of her completely different dude's profile with the same name as me. And I don't know if it was some elaborate shit test to see how I'd react, but it explains why she randomly said you have a pool table. And also, I thought you said not Friday before she came over when I never said either of those things. Like, pool and chess is one of my main repertoires that I run with girls, but I never even mentioned that with her before she came over. So I was like, either she's been talking to other girls about what we do, or who knows? So I just called her a psychopath. I was like, you're just a psychopath, like who's like one of those women who couldn't pick their baby out of a lineup, change the subject, had a great natural vibe and chemistry. She's an INFJ to my NTP. I actually guessed her type the first time. She's like, oh, how'd you know that? Yada, yada. She complimented my ability to always have a rebuttal or answer to shit test she threw my way. Said, most guys usually don't have an answer. Just sit there. Don't say anything. That's a way to display no social competence to women, to not be, proactive. Guys are just reactive, just sitting there very passively. This is the finest line between being an actual tard and retard maxing. Don't give an F, detached from the outcome, self-amusement, high value. And then she did the classic, we're not going to smash tonight. But then she started asking me about stuff and then was like, oh, well, I'm going to fuck you, yada, yada, yada. She was trying to use me essentially for the rest of the night. And she said the night left the next morning. She actually left stuff like multiple rings and a necklace on my bedside table, whatever. So the point here was, well, actually, we'll go into the logistics element of this. So this is where the confusion came from. So this is how our dating app combo went. Had the opening move on Bumble, which is date night in. And I used my L.A.I.D tool to basically come up with the text to send her. Don't have to think at all and just keep it rolling. Good choice. Let's say Thursday or Friday. Let me grab your number for arrangements. She sends her number. Numbers game was never about running numbers. It's called running volume. Numbers game is getting as many numbers as possible, anchored to logistics, and letting the pussy fall where it may. And like this guy says, he's digging the L.A.I.D app, gives him brutal honesty about how weak texting has been. Because again, going back to the original point of this and where this came from, texting is for logistics only. It's not for being her pen pal, and it's not for texting for a couple weeks. It's you match, the iron is hot, you got to strike immediately. So we'll go into a little bit more of this. Long story short, get her number. She reached out first. That's a high interest. There's interest. There's above average interest. There's high interest. Like she matched with you first, and there's like insanely high interest of saying date night in. That's the highest interest. And so I was kind of joking here. I was like, oh no, I was too available, saying I was free Thursday and Friday. Because this is where the confusion came from. And this, in hindsight, is like, oh, she thought I was a different dude. So I say, hey, it's me from Bumble. Let's do Friday around 8. We can do mine. And then she says, you have a pool table? I'm like, I've never been asked that before, because obviously my profile doesn't have it. The text on Bumble didn't have it. And I never said it here. And she says, also, I thought you said not Friday. I said, yeah, Friday works. Tomorrow works too, around 8. And then she says, okay, let's do Friday. So I was like, and tomorrow meaning Thursday. So I was saying, oh, Thursday or Friday works. I said, cool. And then she confirms at 3, okay, we still on for tonight. I say, yes. So you then send my address, which is like the link for the Apple Maps didn't work. And I say that name where I live, can park anywhere, let me know. And long story short, she showed up. And we actually thought that maybe this had something to do with, are we dating the same guy, because of the pool table and Friday thing. But it really was just because she thought that I was a different dude. And that leads us to the point of striking while the iron is hot. That guy probably ghosted her, or I didn't really ask her much. I didn't look through the messages or anything, but I would assume that he just was more passive and he wasn't as proactive about it. I grabbed her number, I messaged her, I let it immediately. And that's how this works. We probably never would have met if he was proactive about it. It just happens to be that we have the same name, and that's a very tiny thing that's probably never going to happen again, where we're texting her at the same time and she confuses me, but she didn't even mention anything for the first 30 minutes. And that's really a lesson in early bird gets the worm, because I'm just sitting there actively prospecting, texting girls and saying, hey, come over, we can chill, we can do whatever, hang out, play pool, talk, watch something on TV or whatever. Um, and then they come over, hang out, communicate. She starts talking about sexual things with me and just kind of move from there. So that's the main idea here. Striking while the iron is hot. If you do want to use the same AI tool that I use to kind of randomize my messages and not even think when it comes to texting girls from dating apps and just being assumptive and doing the logistics only thing, where you're not texting for a couple weeks, you're literally in, I like to say conservatively, 3 to 4 screenshots, usually 2 to 3 max, of matching to her, agreeing to meet up and either coming over or meeting her for whatever you're going to do. That's what this is optimized for. It's the same strategies I've used to meet up with hundreds of girls from dating apps, to close over 100 different girls from dating apps, and just not lose my sanity and be more efficient. So it's the same frameworks that I've used that I recommend using, and I do update it from time to time with new findings and new angles. So link to that's going to be in the description. Other than that, see you next video. Peace.